I am Jan. It's still turning in here just a little bit. Hey, welcome. We're in. Yay. Let's all take a deep breath together. Well, if you are here for my topic today, it is voice release. I am Jan Jorgensen, and over the last 10 years, I have studied fear in the female voice, spiritually and scientifically, to mitigate it. I am so proud of Jessica for holding this forum for hundreds of women to step forward. And we are all in different levels of confidence and preparation. And I know for myself, it has been a very long path of getting comfortable speaking up, and sometimes I go right to that edge, so we're all in this together. So what I really focused on was the importance as the rise of the divine feminine requires our voices to be bells of truth and to resonate out in such a way with no fear that we have no Velcro or triggers or vulnerability. So it's a pretty tall order, and I'm going to take you through a process that I developed that is very, very powerful. So we're going to create a container of trust in this 30 minutes. And for the first 15 minutes, I will give you some of the foundational ideas and structure of how I came to develop this process. And then we will begin. I set a little timer for 15 minutes, and we will powerfully, very powerfully, even though I can't see you, we'll be using the vibrational biofield to access and to release your own long-held conscious and unconscious beliefs. So let's begin again by taking a nice deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. And it's time for roll call, because I know that you are here for a reason. You are here today for voice release for a reason. You are done being hidden, being veiled, being muted, being stifled, and keeping yourself small. So one of the first things I do with any group is I actually do a roll call, and our names are so powerful. So on the count of 3, I would like for everyone here and in the future who watches this, because again, we're working with the vibrational field with all the 0 points. On the count of 3, everyone state your name. Jan. I can feel you here. By stating your name, you are lining up in this circle saying, I am ready to receive. So what I found working with the voice is your voice is your calling card to the world. Within the vibration of your voice, all of your fears of betrayal by men, your fears of not being successful, of not getting clients. As you speak, this is actually broadcast out in an actual pattern to the world. This is my voice print. So I am creating by vibrational resonance, you probably heard of the law of attraction, that I am putting out exactly what I expect to receive. And this is based on my historical traumas and woundings and unconscious expectations of the same. So we want to help ourselves get out of this, and this mysterious deep process will sweep through our bodies as I do the sound, and it will pull the roots out of those weeds. So I've been studying the voice for 25 years singing, and then I taught at the Sound and Consciousness Institute to understand vibrational fields. I wanted to help myself first, so I began building a toolkit, but it became very clear to me that there was a much bigger picture here. I started learning about the importance of women holding feminine principles of truth, beauty, love, and goodness were not stepping up. They were shy. They were afraid to speak up. And if we speak up and have fear, again, we will attract more of the same. So how can we lead? We are the new leaders. And my conclusion is, the more that I learn about clearing our voices and we anchor in our own divine consciousness, and our words go out like a swath of sanity and needed balm of peace. So that's why I'm sharing these processes with you. It is very important in my own path of having all this anxiety, and I'll tell you why I had anxiety. When I was age 4, I'd look up at my father, and he just scared me because he spoke from his mind. And you're an empath if you're watching this, and I would say, my father is saying one thing he thinks that we want to hear, but he's thinking ugly, awful thoughts. They say that the fall from grace was when man began speaking from his head. Manipulation and control and power over, and we call that the toxic masculine. So I learned to not trust and to be fearful, especially around authority figures and men. So you can imagine how this played out in my life as I also was on another path to serve as a singer and a mentor and a healer of this fear in women's voices. In fact, at the age of 50, Spirit tapped me on the shoulder and said, Jan, you're in the wrong movie. I was married to an orthodontist. It was a Teflon, wonderful life. And I started having these messages from my great-grandmother, Sarah. And she would come through in every reading, and then I started talking to her, and she said, Jan, in human timeline, something so important was buried. Buried. It's so valuable. It was so valuable. I began to think it was the Holy Grail itself. She said, and you promised to bring this back. You promised to activate it and dig it up. So what I have found, the divine recreating of the environment through this divine, feminine, grounded, trustworthy voice was what was hidden. And now, as the divine feminine is emerging, and we have some figures, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, and this missing compassionate component in our leadership and in our world right now, we must bring the mother back. You know, the mother who is the one who walks in the room and the kids are misbehaving, and she says, don't make me raise my voice. All she needs is the look, because she is so grounded in truth and authority. And we have lost that. The feminine has lost her sense of value in knowing that speaking the truth will be respected and she is safe and feels sane doing so. These days you don't feel sane even speaking the truth. So I made this promise to dig it up. And along the way, I had a lot of adventures in France and learning more about the Da Vinci Code, the lineage and such. And I have learned that the pendulum has swung so far to the masculine in our social systems, it needs to come back to the feminine. And what was implanted in mankind as the Holy Grail, the Sangreal, is actually women remembering to speak from their heart with no exceptions, so that they can seamlessly rise and lead and be trusted. So again, to be believed, when you speak, you can't have these unconscious fears of authority fathers or whatever, people in uniforms or a mean mother. Those are all subconscious patterns playing out, and you are attracting people who will come in and stick it right to you, right to that Velcro trigger point, and suck your energy. And you say, why am I getting into these same patterns over and over again? One of the other technologies I've learned is I've worked with, okay, it must have slipped down over here. I worked with vocal measuring systems just to show you the science part. This is a voice bio. I can tell a woman how imbalanced she is in her emotions, if her adrenals are tired, and it is the frequencies of her voice in her patterning. So you are broadcasting your entire life expectations and everything through your voice. So if someone says, how are you? Great, never felt better. They are feeling your low D sharp. In fact, people with a very high D sharp will come into your field and you will interact in such a way that you will reduce their hyperinflamed adrenals and you will be restored. I say this because every single person that we come in contact with, we have a bio-vibrational dance. It is up to each of us to hold a high vibration frequency field that we don't need for people to like us. When we speak, we really aren't referencing how they react or how they feel about us. We are in our core truth and we are anchored in that truth. Again, the world is so crazy right now, and we're these boats and we're trying to stay sane, and we really need this anchor. So a big turning point came for me. I was about 55 and I began to do music at the hospice bedside. And suddenly all of my singing work paled as the curtain opened and a state of grace occurred. That's when I left my marriage and I started studying and teaching at the Sound and Consciousness Institute, and I learned it's not the words at all. If I was singing a song, it's not the words, it's the thought and the feeling behind what I was communicating, the sound stream. And so in hospice, I wasn't into how am I doing. My heart, my thoughts, and my words and the sound stream all flowed into the atmosphere, and I was met with a golden state of grace. And that changed my life. You can see I went through another door because I said, I want to feel this all the time. I don't want to have fear. I want to speak from this chalice of Holy Grail that gives fluid and divine feminine essence to everyone. So I began studying ways. I learned how to mitigate fear of dying at the bedside. And I said, can I help women who are meant to lead lose their fear of living and being empowered? I found the portico, and the portico shows a beautiful voice print, and it shows me to what degree, in a percent, mentally, physically, and emotionally, a woman is not even in alignment with her words. So I studied this scientifically, and then I said, okay, this is where I came to the wall. How can I dig down and get the unconscious woundings and the traumas out of a person's body so that their voice can be free and they are free? Okay. I said that because I didn't want to talk the whole time. I have 30 minutes and I wanted to lay this groundwork so that you are ready to go into this deep work with me. Voice release. So Spirit showed me that a person has a form. Their voice comes out of their body, and it comes on a stream, and it holds all the little vibrational traumas in it. So I meditated, and Spirit said, Jan, if you sit across from a woman and you see, and I can see the pattern of their voice in the etheric in my third eye, you see their pattern coming, and you see where it's wounded. Match their tone, vibrational harmonics exactly. Lock on, but make sure that you are matching the wounding. And in doing so, the original trauma in that timeline, the 3-year-old is quaking at her mother screaming. You are touching the root of the untouchable. The thing that has scared you so long is lovingly resounded and lovingly unvibrated. And so I've done this with thousands of women. I've done it one-on-one. And guess what? Because we carry specific archetypes for the feminine, like fear of being seen, fear of being criticized, fear of falling apart. You have your own list. We can do this together as a group. Why? Because I am making the intention. And my heart and my voice and my opening my crown chakra is going to bring a big sweeping swath through each body that is listening to this in real time or in the future. And we are going to have a clearing and a release. First, we're going to drop in to a slight trance state. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. We ask and intend to set a sacred space. We place a hold on over each person's body. We make an intention that these vibrations sweep through each of our bodies and release and dissolve all traumas and fears related to speaking up and being seen. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. In this moment, think of the time when your knees shook and you were frightened and you had anger that you couldn't speak up, and bring that right into your heart as we begin the first round of toning. You may tone anything that comes to you organically, or you may tone with me as I'm seeking in the field for exact vowels and tones. For all women who do not feel safe in their body, we tone. Afraid to speak their truth, between your heart and your throat, the coughing means releasing. Let's tone an open swath of pure openness and freedom. Fear of being seen. We open our base chakras to be free of all fears of speaking our truth, being naked and transparent in the world, sharing truth, beauty, love, and goodness, opening our crown chakras and receiving all the energy we need to fill our hearts with truth. I hope you're toning your heart song. Sing your heart song now. We replace these old energies with trust in ourselves. Trust to release our minds from the world and to be guided by our hearts. Now each of us will make our own intention on this last round of toning. Imagine that you are standing on your personal platform, speaking, claiming your crown as a leader in the divine feminine movement with your gifts. Take a little rest. This energy be embodied. And we are going to instill some new beliefs into our vibrational systems. Please claim these vibrational qualities with me for yourself. I am generous. I am strong. I am spiritual. I am beautiful. I am loving. I am talented. So in these last few moments, searching for any chat here. This is my first time to do a Facebook Live. It says I'm live. Go ahead and shut that off. I would like to say in closing, let me go ahead and while you're integrating those energies, and go ahead and put what I call a golden resilient egg around your energy field so that you hold these vibrations in powerfully. And when we finish, you might want to rest a little bit and have some water, put some essential oils on. Okay, just going to put a little information in here. So in these last minutes we have together, I do feel that it takes a commitment to fulfilling this promise. And when Jessica said this is a feminine frequency festival, it's the absolute truth. We are a team of beings who promise to be born at this time and to reclaim and hold what has been missing on this planet. And it is feminine, the feminine energy of source, which is spiritual in nature rather than mental. So I've done a few events this week, and I just thought I'd share this with you. It's really about claiming our crown. It's taking back our authority to stand behind ourselves. Say, yeah, even if they don't like it, I'm still going to say it. But we're going to say it in a way that also honors the receivership, the people who are receiving our message. For years, I was angry saying the truth. And I've learned now, as part of this work, that we are empaths and healers. You kind of go through and you say, is there a way to say this so that it is digestible and can land? And therefore, all the work that I've done in being this light in my heart is worth it. It's met its home. Healing and lighting up someone else's journey so that they can also help this planet. I'm watching because right at 2:59, right at 3, I'm going to press end live video. Thank you for spending this time with me. You can do this again. You can share it with your friends. And we did quite the sweep there. It was a mighty voice release. So thank you. And this is the longest minute I've ever seen. I'm glad I'm among friends.